Donald Trump's latest Truth Social post and public statement proves that he has no idea what he's talking about when it comes to the killings of Christians in northern Nigeria. In this video, we're going to talk about what he has just announced, the potential implications, including military boots on the ground, and how this could expose a massive weakness that I don't think America really wants exposed to the world. If you want to know the real story about the killings of Christians in northern Nigeria and its true connection to the United States, then this video is for you. If you don't know me, my name is TJ, I'm Nigerian and British mixed, and on this channel, we talk about African geopolitics. So let's start off with what Donald Trump has just posted just a few hours ago. If the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. I am hereby instructing the Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet. Just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians, warning, the Nigerian government better move fast. I find it interesting that this post frames the Nigerian government as if it's willingly allowing these killings and massacres to take place, as if the government is just sitting back with its feet up, smoking a cigar, while atrocities unfold across northern Nigeria. What Trump seems to not understand is the sheer vastness of the landmass and the fact that these terrorists do not respect national borders. This issue is not confined to Nigeria alone. It spans across multiple countries in the Sahel and West Africa. The other major misconception is the idea that these terrorists are specifically targeting Christians as part of some religious war. This is not a religious war, even though it carries the veneer of religious motivation, because terrorists claim to act in the name of their God. History is full of examples of wars justified by religion, yet the true incentives often lie beneath the surface, literally, in the land, in the minerals, in the wealth buried under the soil. It is always as if some divine calling always happens, leading to a mountain sitting on top of a gold mine or a valley rich in uranium. That pattern just happens to repeat itself far too often for it to be called a coincidence. The truth is, this crisis did not begin yesterday. The world first paid attention, if you remember, when Michelle Obama, back in 2014, tweeted, "Bring back our girls," drawing attention to Boko Haram's kidnapping of schoolgirls in northern Nigeria. Under the Obama administration, that same group continued to operate unchecked, and all these years later, it is still wreaking havoc in the same region. To this day, around 90 of the 276 girls kidnapped by Boko Haram back in 2014 remain missing, in a haunting reminder of how little progress has been made despite global attention. Hundreds of thousands have died. Hundreds more children and young women have been taken, never to be returned. But what is often ignored is that these terrorists have not only attacked Christian communities, they have slaughtered Muslim communities too. The truth is, all of the girls taken back in 2014 were indeed Muslim. Many of you have dropped comments asking how you can support this channel, even offering to donate or help financially. Until recently, I had no way to make this possible. But now through my Substack, it's never been easier for you to lend me some support. There's a free tier where you'll get one email per week, and for just $5 a month, about the price of a nice coffee, you'll receive a daily written update from all of my content, everything I produce. I'll be engaging with those of you who join, asking your thoughts on how to serve you and the continent better. Sometimes my videos do get demonetized, and there's also a small chance, as we saw with the Platform Africa stream, that a channel like this could be deplatformed. Even if the worst happens, we can regroup, rebuild, and keep pushing forward. We don't want any third party controlling this message, so with email backing us up, we can communicate directly. Thank you in advance for signing up. I look forward to connecting with you, not just on YouTube, but via email as well. The truth is that this violence is indiscriminate, and wherever it strikes, it just so happens to coincide with regions rich in natural resources. Right now, rare earth minerals have become one of the biggest topics in global geopolitics. In just the past few weeks, China demonstrated it can cripple the United States and global supply simply by restricting access to those minerals, since it controls more than 80% of global production. And now, all of a sudden, this destabilizing massacre of Christians in northern Nigeria has intensified right in a region known to contain significant deposits of these same rare earths. Does anyone else find that suspicious? Donald Trump literally making posts about having military boots on the ground in an area that is rich with rare earths, while it is publicly understood that there is a squeeze on rare earths happening right now. I hope by now the picture is becoming clear. This is not merely a story about Nigeria. It's a story about neocolonialism, an old disease wearing a new face. Across the continent of Africa, Western powers from Europe to the United States still crave easy access to what lies beneath African soil. Whenever there is a region rich in resources, there is almost always conflict and chaos, and with it, a justification for intervention. Boots on the ground, bringing freedom, restoring dignity. These are the slogans they use, but the question we must ask is, where the hell do these terrorists get their weapons, funding, and logistical support from? There's already been public scandals swept quickly under the rug, suggesting clear links between USAID, Western-funded NGOs, and the flow of money and weapons that somehow ended up in the hands of the same groups they claim to be fighting right now. These reports have been discussed by US senators and independent analysts such as Mike Pence. Yet nothing has changed. The Nigerian government struggles to contain this threat, mostly because it faces a well-funded transnational enemy capable of moving across porous borders, executing guerrilla tactics, dispersing and regrouping across thousands of miles of terrain stretching throughout Nigeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, and beyond. So, when Trump talks about sending in troops to wipe out terrorists, he ignores the reality that these very groups trace their roots back to Western interference. For America to truly stop this problem, it would have to confront its own covert networks that supply guns, money, and intelligence to destabilizing forces. And let's be real, is that a likely outcome right here? Let's not forget that these are the same kinds of fighters who were empowered during the US-led intervention in Libya. The same chaos that followed the killing of Gaddafi, justified under the guise of liberation. Those same extremist networks have been growing and resurfacing in Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, precisely the countries that have recently defied Western control and sought to reclaim their own sovereignty. And that defiance is exactly why this region remains so unstable. The objective here is clear: to break the will of the independent African nations and force them back under puppet regimes that serve Western interests. So when Trump talks tough online, framing Nigeria as lazy or negligent, he either does not understand or chooses to ignore the deeper reality that America itself cannot end this problem without dismantling the machinery that created it. Even if America was to put boots on the ground, it is highly unlikely they would truly eradicate the problem. Doing so would cut off their own leverage in the region, removing their ability to step in and seize control of whenever it suits their geopolitical interests. The uncomfortable truth is that the only way this cycle ends is if the West gains direct control over the region's resources. Until then, there is simply no incentive for this conflict to end. And tragically, it is African lives that continue to be lost as collateral damage in this power struggle. The same cycle that destroyed Libya, destabilized the Sahel, and continues to fuel chaos across Africa will go on. Trump's rhetoric may sound strong, draped in religious zeal to rally his Christian base, but it is hollow, just like his so-called peace deals in DRC or Gaza, each followed by more death, more displacement, and more instability. This too will amount to little more than bluster. If he truly sends troops, the outcome will be the same: endless war, deeper chaos, and yet another reminder that the United States' power and influence in the world is beginning to wane. I would love to know what you guys think about this. Have you been following Donald Trump's posts? I think they're quite incredible. Please let me know what you think about this. But if you have nothing to say, would it be too much for me to ask you to say the words, "End resource wars now"? It just lets me know that you watched the video to the end, you support the channel, you like the message, and you want me to continue. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.